Picture the silence of the dungeons. It is not the quiet of a classroom before a lesson, or the tension of a spy dodging Death Eaters. It is the weight of a man holding a medicinal vial, watching a broken boy sleep. That boy's face holds the record of every mistake the man has made. Imagine Snape, the man who strikes fear into 11-year-olds, resting a hand on Harry Potter's shoulder to steady him, instead of shoving him away.
This is the core of Severitus. It is more than a fanfiction trend. It is a subversion of the Harry Potter universe that has gripped fans for 2 decades.
We're not talking about a minor change of heart. We're looking at a total collapse of the original story's foundation. To see why this idea sticks, you have to look at Snape's soul. His hatred for Harry in the books was a chemical reaction to seeing James Potter's arrogance in Harry's eyes. It was the physical form of his deepest regret.
Yet there is that promise to protect Lily's son. The Severitus genre takes that vow and turns up the heat. It asks a question that keeps writers awake. If Snape looked past the father to see the reality of Harry's suffering, would the protector finally win over the bully?
The discovery arc is the engine for most of these stories. In the books, Harry's survival depends on the blood wards at Privet Drive. The Severitus arc starts when that wall breaks, the mask slips. Maybe Snape delivers a letter or finds Harry during a patrol and sees the truth. The cupboard, the bruises, and the systematic destruction of a child by muggles who fear him.
When Snape sees that the boy he hates is being broken by the people Dumbledore trusted, the entire power structure of the Order of the Phoenix collapses.
In the original story, Snape is Dumbledore's tool. He uses his life as currency. If he pulls Harry from the Dursleys, he isn't just defying the headmaster. He is dismantling the only shield Harry has against Voldemort. This is the first cost of his redemption. He loses his cover. He stops being a spy and becomes a target. He trades his own safety for a child's life. The logistics are difficult. Some writers go for domestic misery, with Snape moving into Privet Drive and creating a household more oppressive than the original. Others use the dark arts guardian angle, where Snape uses forbidden magic to shield Harry. This creates massive tension. Without the blood protection of Lily's sacrifice, Harry is a beacon for Voldemort. Writers must rewrite the war, often forcing Snape into hiding or constant flight. That line is the heart of the conflict. If Snape raises Harry, he stares into those green eyes every day. He confronts the love he lost, the man he hated, and the boy who is both. It is a psychological trap. Nurturing Harry reminds him of Lily and James at once. It is a daily penance for his past choices. Then there is the blood father theory. It is a massive, polarizing part of the fan world. Let's be clear, it is not canon. It ignores the biology of the Potter family, but it persists because it is an easy shortcut to the Severitus dynamic. It turns tension into a matter of bloodline. By making Snape the father, the writer forces the character to care. But the real story is much darker. The true power of the Severitus trope is not biology. It is the agony of choice.
If Snape is just the man who promised to keep Harry alive, the dynamic is a crucible. A man who enjoys student misery does not suddenly become a kind father. He would be a harsh mentor. He would teach Harry to survive through the brutal, necessary skills of a spy. He would teach him to be cold, observant, and distrustful. If Snape raises Harry, the boy grows up believing he's a soldier, not a hero. He learns to brew Veritaserum in the dark rather than playing Quidditch in the sun. He learns to be a Slytherin, not a Gryffindor. Harry loses his innocence before his Hogwarts letter arrives. He becomes a weapon, shaped by the only man who knows how dangerous the world is. This poisons his relationship with Dumbledore. Dumbledore needs Snape to follow orders. If Snape decides Harry's well-being matters more than Dumbledore's chess game, the Order loses its most vital asset. The Severitus trope tests the limits of Snape's loyalty. Does he love Lily enough to sacrifice his position and life to raise her son with dignity? Or does he sacrifice the boy's childhood for the greater good? This is where the community embraces the dark side. They do not want a soft Snape. They want a man who is both a monster and a martyr. When you take him out of the classroom, you see that Snape's parenting is an extension of his suffering. He is not a father who gives advice. He is a father who gives warnings. This is why the trope lasts. It offers a resolution the books refuse to give. In the canon, Snape dies with his secrets and bitterness. In the Severitus arc, there is a chance for a reckoning. We look at Snape as a man living in the shadows of two people he could never be. By making him a guardian, we test his promise. We ask if always was a romantic obsession or a genuine, self-sacrificing devotion to the future of the woman he loved. The Severitus trope acts as an autopsy of Snape. It asks if a man surrounded by death can nurture life. It challenges us. Do we want Snape to be a father because he can grow, or because we want to absolve ourselves of the truth that he was a bully? We want to believe he could be more than a tragic figure in a war he did not start. Snape raises Harry. He does so during a brewing civil war. He is a double agent. Voldemort, Lucius Malfoy, and other Death Eaters watch him constantly. If Harry is in his home, the risk is astronomical. This adds constant, suffocating tension. It is not just about teaching Harry to hold a wand. It is about hiding his existence from the Dark Lord. One wrong word could expose their secret. This is the brilliance of the genre. It forces Snape to be a parent while living a lie. It forces him to care for a child while deceiving the most dangerous sorcerer in history. It shows us a Snape who is exhausted, paranoid, and terrified, not for himself, but for the boy who represents everything he lost.
Remember that Snape is defined by his choices. In the world of Hogwarts, every choice has a price. If he saves the boy, he loses the spy role. If he chooses the mission, he loses the boy.
There is no version of this story where everyone wins. There is only the version where Snape decides which ghost matters more, the one in the grave or the one waiting for a hand to guide him through the dark. The Severitus narrative is a demand for a different ending. It is a story where the man who lived for the past finds a reason to fight for the future. We see the true stakes of the Wizarding War, not just survival, but the possibility of salvation for those who thought they were beyond it. It forces us to look past the black robes, to see the man who might have been, had he been given a reason to hope. In the silence of the dungeons, that is the most important lesson. Even the darkest heart can guard the light if it finds someone worth saving.